What's happening, dogs? Mr. Allen here with some solving of trig functions in this video. And for this one, our theta, our angle, is going to be bound between 0 and 360 degrees. So we are solving for theta in degrees in this one. All right, let's get after it. We got 5 cosine of theta plus 6 equals 4. So I'm going to subtract 6 to isolate the cosine, or start isolating the cosine. We get negative 2. Divide by 5 on both sides, and I've got cosine of theta equals negative 2/5. Yeesh. That's not a nice one, right? That's not on our unit circle or a special right triangle. So I do need to use cosine inverse to isolate my theta here. So cosine inverse on both sides. Now, you got a couple options of how you want to do this thing, okay? Technically, yes, theta is equal to cosine inverse of negative 2/5, okay? That's the proper algebra way of going about this. But when I solve this thing, okay, when I solve this, in my calculator, I don't like to do cosine inverse of negative 2/5. Here's what I get when I do that. If I do negative 2/5, it's going to tell me 1/13. That is one of my correct answers here. But I got to get my second correct answer because it's going to exist in 2 quadrants, okay? Let's think about the quadrants that it's in, okay? So if I look back to my wonderful little quadrants here, it's all students take calculus. The cosine is positive in the first and the fourth, which means it is negative in the second and the third. Okay, so these are the 2 quadrants that I'm in, right? So the one that I just got here, the 113, that's this one here, right? But I also need this one here. So how do I get to that, right? I don't know. Well, there's ways to do it. But I think really the easiest way to do these types of problems, my favorite way, my preferred way, the way I always teach it, is I plug in the positive 2/5. This tells me my reference angle, okay? Now, if I want to get this one right here, I would do 180 minus that reference angle of 66.42 and change, right? And I'm going to get, let's see here, 180 minus, I can just arrow up and grab it, hit enter. We get 113. So theta equals 113. Exactly what we had before, right? We said that one was one of them. 113.578, so 58 degrees. But now, if I want to get this one, whoop, boom, all the way around there, I can do 180 plus this one right here, right? I got to go a little bit further. I got to go my reference angle further. So now we have 180, I'll write that all out, plus 66.42 and change. So we get theta equals 246.42 degrees. Nice. Boom. And boom. Perfect. All right. So again, you guys, you could do the 113 there. The way I've seen some people do it is they're like, okay, so 180 minus this 113, that will give me my reference angle, and then I can add. It's like, it just seems like a whole lot. I'd rather have my reference angle and then place it where it needs to go. Okay, that's my process. That's how I'm going to do these all the time. Right? Find my reference angle. I always plug in the positive to get my reference, and then I math from there. Okay. So let's try that on this one. So we got 3 sine squared theta equals sine of theta. Okay. Can I just divide the sines of thetas? No. Right? If you did that and get 3 sine theta equals 0, like you're losing out on some theta action, because you cancel one out, you're going to lose some solutions. So we don't want to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and set this thing equal to 0. So we're dealing with like a quadratic within trig functions here, which is kind of crazy. So I get 3 sine squared theta minus sine theta equals 0. I'm going to factor out a sine theta, right? That's a common factor there. Leave me with 3 sine theta minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so now I have 2 different trig functions, one of which is going to be, I'm going to do 2 different colors here. Sine of theta equals 0. I can actually solve that one. That one's not bad, right? Sine is my y coordinate. When is y 0? That's when it would be, we'd have 0, right? And then at 180. So there we go. There's 2 of my solutions already. Nice. And then, let's see here. We got to do the other one. I'll do that in pink, I guess. We got 3 sine theta minus 1 equals 0. So 3 sine theta minus 1 equals 0. And then I'll add 1. So 3 sine theta equals 1. Divide by 3. We get sine theta equals 1/3. Okay. So again, that's not on my unit circle. Almost looks like 1/2 is, or the when we have a root 3 action going on, not for this one, but almost looks like it, but it's not. So I do need to do the sine inverse on both these. So I'm just going to type that in, second sine of 1/3. That is going to be my reference angle, okay? So where is this thing? This is positive, right? And like we talked about here, where is sine going to be positive? Well, I already have the all students take calculus up, so we'll use that first quadrant, second quadrant. So I know I'm going to have one here, and I'll have one here for my bow tie, yes? All right, so the first one here, actually my reference angle, is one of my answers. So theta equals 19.47 degrees. Nice, excellent, fantastic. Then I want to get the other one here, this one, so I can take 180 and subtract that reference angle right there, so minus 19.47. So 180 minus the 19.47, hit enter, oops, not plus, that'll give me an error, enter, 160, so theta equals 160.528, so 53 degrees. Let me circle all these answers. On your test, you should probably put them all in the answer line, right? So we got ourselves 4 solutions here for this particular one, and that makes sense, right? We had 2 solutions for this one, but then we add the squared aspect, right? We're dealing with a quadratic. You're going to get double the solutions there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes these actually don't work out, all right? So like if this was like sine of theta equals 3, you'd end up getting an error. There'd be no solution for that particular one. All right, so there are times where we end up getting no solution for some of these things. But for this one, we had 4 different solutions here. We got our answers between 0 and 360, which is dope. I almost forgot a little degree mark on here. Shame on me. Shame on me. All right. Hopefully that stuff helps. You enjoy it because they're super fun. We'll do some non-calculator ones in other videos, so make sure you check those out. Calculator is pretty fun, though. Make sure you're in the correct mode. Here it was degrees. Sometimes it would be in radians, and you need to switch that. If you're not sure how to do that, mode, arrow down twice. That's radian. Hit enter on that. So if you wanted to go to radian, now I can hit second quit, and now I'm in radian mode, right? I'm gonna put back into degree mode because we're mathing some stuff up in degrees in some other classes. All right. Other than that, have a great day, you guys. See you later.